Well, I've noticed when atheists are arguing there is no God, they actually have to steal aspects of reality that would only exist if God existed in order to say God doesn't exist. So they have to sit in God's lap to slap his face, I think, as Christopher
Doug Wilson.
I'm thinking of Christopher Hitchens, of course. I debated Hitchens a couple of times, and Wilson did a couple of times as well. And I think Wilson was the one that said Christopher has to sit in God's lap to slap his face.
He did, but do you know who he stole that from?
Who?
Van Til. That's Van Til's picture. What does that mean?
Well, let me just give one example. It's probably easy explained by example. Atheists often say there's too much evil in the world, and so there can't be a good God. Well, as soon as they bring up the subject of evil, what you ought to ask them is, what do you mean by evil? Because they won't be able to define evil without reference to good. You know, if they start saying, well, murder's evil, rape is evil, then you say, no, I'm not looking for an example of evil. I would like a definition. And you can't define evil without reference to good, because evil is a privation or a lack in good. Evil is like cancer, right? If you take all the cancer out of a good body, you got a better body. If you take all the body out of the cancer, you got nothing. In other words, evil doesn't exist on its own. It only exists in a good thing. Well, if you're going to say something's evil, and we all know things are evil out there, then you're presupposing something's good. But if something is good, then God must exist, because what we mean by good in an objective sense is God's nature. So they have to steal a standard of good in order to say evil exists. So they're stealing from God while they're trying to say he doesn't exist.
Yeah,
that's what has to sit in God's lap to slap his face.